Food. An army marches on its stomach, and that's how Mum civilised the hungry hills and taught us fairness and respect for each other. The focal point was the weekend lunch, replete with mouth-watering desserts, and we learned the value of service through the small chores assigned to us. On summer holidays, Dad drove us to the four corners of the Great British Isle. We bonded as brothers and found awe and solace in nature. Yes, Mum was extremely diligent and conscientious, always on the move, yet finding quiet downtime to maintain an orderly garden. Her life was organised around lists, shopping, cooking, people to contact. She possessed a practical intelligence which got things done. Mum was a great listener, giving you her undivided attention. She complimented Dad, who was always full of stories. She cheered Dad on in all his acting and singing. She was the well-presented flower, mother and nurse. She was the joy giver and healer of bruised hearts. She carried in her heart a quiet confidence that never boasted nor pushed herself forward. Mum was an extremely agreeable person and always polite, but there are times when you need to be disagreeable and stand up for what is right. I owe Mum an immense debt concerning my education. She had been neglected at school in favour of academic high flyers, but she determined that would not be her own story. Mum was my champion, and through her persistence I was promoted to the top set. This buoyed me up with confidence and raised up my aspirations for education and life. Mum was never irritable or offended. She kept no record of wrongs. She had had a happy childhood and was securely rooted in family and community. And from that inner security rose up a stream of living water that nourished all those whose lives she touched. A peacemaker. Mum was a very open person. She had nursing friends who were Methodist, Baptist and Catholic, and her parents Presbyterian. But when she met Dad, she was caught in no man's land that separates communities of faith. She wrote, "I felt like a mongrel that didn't belong anywhere in particular. Faith and faithfulness are two sides of the same coin. St. Joseph's has had two fathers O'Sullivan, Frank and Eugene. They were both low church and their ministry practical and compassionate. And it was Dad's practical compassion and his constant support for Mum that sealed the chemistry of love between them. They overcame the barriers of doctrine that sadly separate the children of God. And so, when we brothers started on our own quests for meaning, Mum gave us courage and didn't hold us back. And bold wives entered our secure sanctum, with them a new order. And Mum received them as her own daughters, Catholic and free, Korean and Malaysian. Sect and race were not issue. We are all God's children, she might say. Mum was a shining light of compassion and service. She beamed with joy as she communed with young children. She brought up the downtrodden and comforted those in grief. Dear Mum, though you are now gone from us, you are now in a better place, and your memory is radiant in our hearts. May it continue to shine through our lives. You have run your race. Rest in peace.